Atlanta, Georgia. That is where I am right now in a hotel room, the Westin, Atlanta Airport. My stay here was unplanned. Sometimes things happen, right? I was on a trip in Miami, and as I've probably expressed before, I enjoy going to the airport early and just doing my thing, right? So I spent 7 nights in Miami, and I got to the airport early today. I got through security, and I had 3.5 hours till my flight. Now, my flight was from Miami to Chicago via Atlanta. So I'm 3.5 hours early, and I like to write and read, walk around, people watch, just kind of observe. I really enjoy airports. I think it's really fascinating, all the things that go on and all the operations. There's so much information around us, and you get such great insight into the world in a way. But anyways, my flight was delayed, and which happens, right? So it's delayed, and then when we get on, this is a really big airplane. It was a Airbus 321, and I Googled it. It's one of the biggest of the 300s. And so we get on there, but then they're fixing some maintenance stuff, which is, again, you want to be safe, take precautions. So that added some extra time. But it was cutting it close on my connection. Something I'll do is check my carry-on when they are running out of room. I think it's so obnoxious when you have to, play a Tetris game of getting your carry-on up in the overhead rack. So I just check mine, and it was gonna automatically just go to Chicago. So I just have my backpack with me, and we're kind of close. And when we land, I knew that I was gonna miss it. So now you're gonna miss your connecting flight. There's no reason to become upset, become angry or frustrated, because there's so many things that happen, right? There's so many moving parts in a day, and something in Dallas could affect something in New Jersey or Boston or Seattle. It's really interesting, the interconnectedness of flying and airports and travel. It presented a great opportunity to work on cognitive challenges, right? I missed my flight to Chicago. The first thing I do is ask, okay, what steps? So I asked the person, okay, I missed my connecting flight. What steps should I take next? Because I don't know. I don't have the answers. Talk to someone who might know, or they'll send you to someone else who will know. That was the last flight to Chicago for the day, out of Atlanta, the one that I missed. So, took the next steps, went to the ticketing, and they did, some configuration, beep, bop, boop, bop. And they told me to check where the bag is going, because it could be in Chicago. I don't have it, right? So it could be in Chicago, or it could be here. But most likely it's in Chicago, I guess. I still don't know. I don't have my bag. And so they're like, you have a couple options. You can take 2 flights and get to Chicago at 11 p.m. And my flight originally going to Chicago was at 5 p.m. Or, so you'd go to D.C. and then go from D.C. to Chicago, get in at 11. So you'd still be back today. Or you could take a 7:45 a.m. flight out of Atlanta. And I was like, are there hotel accommodations? And they're like, yeah. So I was like, sweet, let's do that. And honestly, you probably can't find a more excited person. I'm so excited because, one, I've never been to the Atlanta airport. So, and I hear so many things about it. So to be there was very exciting to me. It's one of the largest in the country, and I guess world. There's a lot of input output in the Atlanta airport. I get an extra day on the trip, I suppose. So I get a sense of Georgia culture. Georgia, I guess, is how they say it here. I'm staying in a hotel. I haven't stayed at a hotel since before COVID. It might have been like 2018. Because usually when I travel, I stay at friends' places or Airbnbs. And I've never had a corporate job. So I haven't spent much time in these hotels. But it's so exciting to me. Everybody's like looking at me in the lobby, all the people that work there. I'm just like smiling and taking photos. This is so neat. And a shuttle picked us up and taking photos of all the Georgia fauna as we're going along. And I got this room for free. All I gotta do is stay an extra night, right? Now, this is my first time missing a connection. There's always a first for everything, right? And so I do, however, when I travel, I bring my most valuable stuff on me, right? So we still have our recording equipment, and with my setup and the way I go about things, I can fit my entire studio in this backpack. So I put all my expensive stuff with me, and then, in the other bag, the carry-on bag, just kind of clothes, toiletries. Should have thought about that. So now we can make a note, right? This is an experience. We learn from it. Maybe carry, a couple things on you with your personal item in case something like this happens again, which it most undoubtedly will sometime in life, right? Hopefully I'll be as excited for that time as this time. Again, I have a really flexible schedule. I just have to be back to Chicago by like 3:30-ish. Should be back at like 9. So, and in the meantime, I get another learning opportunity, right? It's such a different experience. And usually I do go to hotels, but I stay in the lobby and check out the hotel bars, and I study the design that they have, and I take a lot of photos. And I'm like in Miami, I took an afternoon, and hit up all the like hotels on South Beach and took photos of the interiors and the chandeliers. I'm really into like design and light fixtures right now. So I would go into these spots, and people greet you. They're cool. And then sometimes they would show me around. Like I was in this one, they let me take the elevator up. It's like an old school elevator. That was a lot of fun. The chandeliers and the design. And then I checked out the Versace mansion. Got some ideas and inspiring, and just, I bought a glass of wine, and I'm just giving myself a tour of the place, my own tour, and I just walked around. Pretty cool, pretty fun. And then to think now I'm at a hotel. Pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm just excited, I don't know what I'm going to do about, there is a pool. I have no clothes except for what you see me wearing, but sometimes you just got to roll with life and what happens. I am tired. I don't know how much more energy I'll have, and I'll have to go to bed fairly early to catch a flight that starts boarding at 7 a.m. But another opportunity to check out an airport. I would love to if anybody's, out there, knows anybody or works for any airlines, I would love to just travel and study airports. That would be so fun to me, and just like see the operations. I take photos of airports, of all because it's the first impression that someone non-resident of a city gets of that place. So it's interesting to me to observe what they present, right? So in Miami, they'll have, like on the ground, like these like kind of gold imprints of seashells, palm trees. They'll have like fish artwork, and then big murals, very colorful. It's really cool. And Chicago gives this very industrial look. So a lot of like steel beams, symmetry. And so it's interesting to me, all these different airports. So now I just got a little glimpse of the Atlanta one. And flying in, I had a window seat and I was looking down, and it was so green. So green and so many trees. Looking out the window right now, you can see very far. I'm on the 8th floor. Again, I'm just like so excited. When I had that opportunity, the hotel accommodation, I'm like, yes, let's do it. Logistically, I got to figure out some things, but I think it'd be easy to get frustrated by something like this, especially if, something goes not how you plan for it, right? A lot of life is your reaction to something. It's not the actual thing that happens. So, yeah, what was sucky about it is you have to think more, right? You have to do some problem solving. You have to have some conversations to just figure that out. And that's not fun. And especially if you're traveling alone, traveling solo, you are the one that has to figure it out. Whereas if you're traveling with somebody, you kind of have like a teammate to help you out, right? But other than that, I don't know, it's cool. It's cool to have something unexpected come up. And I interpret it in a fun way, in a good way. And that's what life is. Interpretation. Interpretation. Rolling with the punches. And I was trying to think about airport slogan. But yeah, look at this. It's pretty cool. Welcome to Atlanta. Party in Atlanta.